I am joined now on the phone by Arzo Wardak. She's a volunteer at the camp. Arzo, what is the situation right now?
Hi, thank you for having me. So approximately around today at noon, we started to face a large group of refugees coming out of the camp, and basically it went from 0 to 100 very quickly. Immediately there were rocks being thrown and flares going off, and the Greek police began to essentially run off, leaving a lot of people, vulnerable people, unprotected. We were immediately urged to evacuate, and we didn't know how serious the situation was going to become. It wasn't long when a huge fire began to break out, and essentially all the asylum hearing containers where the asylum hearings occur were burned down. Soon after that, the containers in which the Afghan refugees were living in were also burned down. And then what you had was a massive fire throughout the camp, and people were forced to evacuate. At the end, there were about over 100 unaccompanied minors that were still locked up, and we had to do a dramatic evacuation effort in trying to evacuate them and take them to a different camp called Camp Tikva and get them there safely, because they literally were locked inside of the camp and had no way of getting out.
Let me interrupt you for a second. What do you mean by locked up? Do they actually lock up people at these camps?
They lock up the unaccompanied minors. It's a very secure area. They do it, and they do it. They say that it's for the safety of the kids, but essentially, because the Greek police had run off and had ran from the camp, there were no one to essentially get them out from the children's unit. These are kids that are from ages 13 to 17, but many of them are around the age of 14.
It sounds absolutely horrifying. We're looking at the pictures on the air right now. Talk to us about the conditions at this camp, the level of frustration, and also, do they know how this fire started?
So the fire began starting, they essentially, I believe they stockpiled on flares, and their primary target was to target the European Asylum Support Office. This is the institution that has been tasked with processing the asylum claims for these refugees. It has been terribly, terribly slow. They have also been responsible for the arbitrary detention of unaccompanied minors as well as vulnerable refugees. And they're also responsible for the terrible unsanitary conditions and lack of access to proper medical care. Many of these people have severe medical issues, and it takes them several weeks just to get a doctor to see them. And so, of course, after months of dealing with horrific conditions, they had just become so frustrated that they wanted to target the asylum compound. And from then, it just spread so quickly, and people were just forced to evacuate. But then what we also saw afterwards is that women and children being beat. We tonight actually tried to go back towards the camp and make sure that there was no one left behind. And what we witnessed was so horrific. We witnessed actual Greek police officers and what we believe to be fascists attacking women and children that were sitting on the sidewalks because they had nowhere else to go. And so they were seeking refuge on top of the hill, and they just started beating them. And this was the kind of, these are kind of actions that you're seeing right outside of the camp as well, not just inside.
A terrible situation. Arzo Wardak, thank you so much for talking to us. Arzo was a volunteer and witnessed the whole thing. Thank you.